about your recruiting philosophy of leaning on high school recruits more so than diving into the transfer portal. How much reevaluation have you done of that as a real-time thing about you might want to evolve, take on more transfers eventually, or do you think, hey, this is working, stick with it? How do you look at it?
We evaluate every year. You see what's leaving, and you evaluate your roster, and then you look at who's coming back on your roster as far as who your starters are, projected starters are, and then you also look at who you're recruiting. And something we talk about every single year. It's not like I walk in and go, hey, this is what we're doing. We have a whole staff, very experienced coaches, and they're the head coach of their position. And so we gather input on that. And then, so again, it's people, it's not I'm just for the guys that we have. And we just haven't been put in a situation yet. I said earlier today, if I took a job somewhere else, I'd be the greatest portal recruiter ever, because half my roster would be gone and I'd have to go put it together. But we've had, if you study our team, our retention is as good as anybody in the country. Guys graduate, they stay. And we recruit. We've had 14 top 15 recruiting classes in a row. So, okay, you got a linebacker that leaves early. Do you go replace that guy with a portal guy, or do you? Here's Wade Woodaz. Because if you go because what you don't talk about is if you bring a guy in, somebody's got to leave. When you have the type of retention that we have. Now, it would be different if we had a bunch of guys packing up and leaving. I think we've had maybe 2, 3, 4 guys leave in 3 years post-spring. That's really what puts a lot of people in the portal, because you have to replace that in your roster. We haven't had that. Guys that are leaving you always know who your seniors are, who's going pro early, and then guys come and they articulate, hey, like I knew some guys that were graduates were going in the portal last year. We planned for that in recruiting, and occasionally you have a gap, but we've signed a guy out of the portal 2 out of the last 3 years. And then this past year, we had one spot that we were trying to get a couple of guys, and we didn't get them. So it takes 2 to get that done. But we like our roster. And again, the portal's a great tool. It's a great tool for the player. It's a great tool for coaches. But for us, we just haven't been a full-blown portal recruiting team because of the type of kids we're getting and the type of retention that we've had.
Dave Doran is going into his 12th season, and when he was you were the only coach in the league left that was here when he was hired. Why do you think y'all have been able to sustain this longevity in such a volatile profession?
We've won enough, you don't win, you're not going to hang around. That's just really that simple. And the reason we've won is he'd say the same thing, is we've had great staffs and great young men that have bought into doing what it takes to win. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not the oldest, but I'm certainly I guess got the most tenure. In fact, I was with Tom O'Brien a couple of nights ago, and he and I were talking just about that. When I first walked into the room, it was Tom O'Brien and Beamer and Friedgen and Al Groh and Paul Johnson and Cutcliffe and Bobby Bowden, Grobe. I mean, it's changed a lot. So it just means we've been fortunate enough to find a way to win enough games, because if you don't win enough games, it's going to turn over quick. And Dave's done an amazing job of that at NC State.
Now, speaking of turnovers, that was kind of the challenge last year. Were you able to identify maybe some common themes as to why you had such an issue with, especially when it comes to hanging on to the football?
Yeah, I mean, there was just some fluky things. Some of it's just, a guy gets his hand up at the right second, and instead of it going by, it's a tip ball, and it just falls into their best player's hand, and he walks in for a touchdown. I mean, there are certainly some things that led to a turnover. For example, we had a turnover against Florida State. We're getting ready to maybe go up, put the game away there, and we don't scan back on the protection. And they brought the guy from depth, and it would have been an easy pickup. And so the ball, that's what caused the turnover. But unfortunate that it's not just a sack fumble; it's a sack, scoop, 70-yard, touchdown. I mean, that's football, though. We've had a ton of good fortune too. So a little bit of it's just you know, some tough breaks here or there, but that's the way it is. And then some of it's fundamental, you know, not securing the ball the way we need to secure the ball. You know, that's part of it as well. You know, just we had 3 fumbles on the one. You know, on the one, going in to score. So, you know, and you lose in double overtime and overtime. You lose on a pick 6. You know, we had 2 first and goals on the one in our opener, and you know, turned them both over, got nothing. So yeah, fundamental stuff, ball handling, you know, routine stuff that you do in practice every single day. So it was frustrating, and you know, not all on the quarterback or the running back. Some of them on the receivers as well. We turned one over on special teams. So it's just a collective thing. Certainly an area that hopefully we can get that behind us.